And I'm delighted to invite Mr. Thomas Martinez to our show, FraniaG Talk. I'm so happy to see him here. Let me tell you a little bit about Thomas. I was a student back in 2012 when I was doing my MBA, my master in business administration. He was my teacher. And it was so funny because I was one of those students that usually participate and usually put my hands up and ask him so many questions. But he was one of my favorite teachers because he always took time to talk to us, to make sure that we really fully understand the message, the class that he brings every single time he get in contact with us, a open-minded professor, a lot of knowledge about strategic management and leadership. He also is a coach, currently coach for leadership. And I'm so honored to have him here, becoming a person of influence. We're going to talk about this topic, which is so beneficial for us as a leader. And remember this, we need more leaders. That's why I'm bringing Mr. Thomas tonight to talk about this topic, and I hope you enjoy it. Thomas Martinez. And I'm so happy to have you here, Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you, Frania, for the opportunity. It's been quite a few years now.
Yes.
Wow, time goes really fast, and I'm so proud of your progress and the things and the success that you have. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. So it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here with you tonight.
Thank you so much, Tom.
This is one of the best topics that I always enjoy talking to people about this, becoming a person of influence, because nowadays we think influencers, people who are in TikTok or Facebook or anything like that, and they think they're influencers. However, as leaders, as serious leaders, effective leaders that we are, we need to keep in mind that we need to be effective influencers, and as leaders that's what we're talking about. Now, I'm going to share with you a quick PowerPoint. Yes, and becoming a person of influence is based on the book "Becoming a Person of Influence" by John C. Maxwell and Jim Dornan. I'm certified with John Maxwell Leadership Team, and I'm honored and to be in that team, and I've learned quite a lot. And the thing is, how to positively impact the lives of others, and we have to keep that in mind. Leadership is influence. First of all, the law of influence tells us that the true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. If you are a leader, if you have a position as a leader and you're not influencing anybody, you're not really leading. We just have the position, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Increasing your influence, that means that you're increasing your leadership. And the more influence you have, the better, the bigger the leader you are. So, and keep in mind that also could be a good leader or a bad leader. We know in history we have, for example, Hitler. He was a leader. He was an effective leader, not necessarily a good leader, but he had a lot of influence. So we have to understand that influence has to be effective and good also. Your influence is inventory. Your influence inventory. Let's talk about this. Who do I influence? You have to ask yourself that question. There's a principle behind that, and is as a leader, you attract who you are, right? Not who you want. You attract who you are. And a lot of people are saying, well, I don't understand why I don't attract people who are positive when these people are bad. I don't understand why they just don't come to my company and work for me, because this is a good company, but they're so lazy and I don't understand. Guess what? You're showing who you are. You're very negative, so you bring people who normally will be negative as well. So understand, you attract who you are, not necessarily who you want to attract. Oh. For that, I always ask people, at least 3 top characteristics of a person you want on your team, right? And think about those characteristics and say, well, do I have those characteristics? Are those similar to the ones that I can offer as well? So this is, when I have these classes, I always think, Frania, when we had our classes, I want to want to see what you think about this. I want to get in your brain and really bring that really true knowledge that everybody has, right? So think about that, the characteristics that you want of the person that you want on your team. There's a question, who do you influence? Do you influence leaders, like other leaders, or you influence followers, right? There's a difference there. Step number 5, level 5, the 5 levels of leadership by John Maxwell. The one is that person who actually leaders follow that person, right? So that's the top, that's the pinnacle, right? That's the top. Do you influence thinkers, or do you influence doers? Do you influence people who are always thinking, or you influence people who are really making things happen, right? Do you influence big picture people or little picture people? Do you influence self-centered people or other-centered people? Positive or negative people, right? Do you influence insecure or secure people? And we go at the list right now all the way to the end. Do you influence eagles or turkeys? In other words, you influence people who want really, really to develop themselves and really make an impact in the world, in their communities, or are you influencing just people who just like to follow you, like turkeys, and they just do whatever you do.
Right.
In my case, and in your case, what you're doing, Frania, that's why I commend you. I'm so happy that you're doing this, because you're influencing people who are going to the next level.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. So I thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a question. That's another question. Within the inventory, these are the inventory questions. How do I influence others? And that's a question you have to ask yourself. How do you do that? There's a principle behind it, because how you influence people will determine how many people and how long and how effectively you influence them. In other words, you can influence people for a while, for an hour, for 2 hours, for a month, for a year. But the way you do it will determine how many more people will be influenced by you. And when I say influence, understand that it's really adding value to them, so they can add value to other people.
Right.
And you and I are in the same line. We want to bring people, add value to them, so they can add value to others, right? And we want them to be successful, and how we do this and how you're doing it right now will determine whether you're going to be doing this for a long time or not. So, and I know you're refining this, as that never stops. The way you do it, your social media, your podcast, your videos. That's something that it's always doing it better.
Right.
They're methods of influence, right?
Right.
I'm going to mention from the worst to the best. You can influence by force, and we've seen this in many countries, the governments, how they do that. There's no choice. There's no choice in the decision. That's the way it is. We're going to do this. It's going to happen. Period. Number 2 is intimidation. Many people say it's my way or the highway.
Exactly.
And we can see this in many, not only countries, businesses, where the boss will say, listen, if you don't do it this way, I guess you're going to get fired, right? And manipulation, and for that is like, well, if you do it, you get a prize, but if you don't do it, you're going to lose their job. So we're manipulating people there. So the word manipulation sometimes is like used in a really negative context, like right now it is. Number 4 is positional. I have a position, therefore you have to follow me, right? And again, the 5 levels of leadership, number 1, the base one is position. Just because it says Tom Martinez, manager here, I'm telling people, well, you got to follow me. You got to do whatever I do. Okay, well, that's not really the best way to influence people. That's actually number 4. When we go to number 5, going to the best one, exchange. Now, all right, everybody wins here. If you do a good job, you get a good commission. The business is going to flourish. We're going to do well, and we're going to have a business for a while. So how about that? Is there anything I can do for you that you can help me increase my business. So everybody wins there. That's a better way of influencing people because everybody's winning, right? Persuasion is we follow because we want to, and it's cool because once you gain the respect from people, people will just follow because they just love your cause. They love what you're doing. For that, you need to have a clear vision. When you have a clear vision and you understand that vision, people will understand it, and it will also follow you because they say, "Oh, I want to follow you, Franny. I love what you're doing." It's very clear. I want to be part of that. So it's a way to persuasion. It's a great way. Now, number 7 is the best one. Is respect. We follow because of the request and respect for the influencer.
Yeah.
And I love that. That takes time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like nowadays, because we have so many people trying to influence, and they go into social media and they post things that are not necessarily true, and they just want to be followed at least for a day by somebody. So everybody, and the big amount of people, the majority of people are losing respect for leaders. We see that in the government, in the religion area. It's like they have failed us. They have failed humanity, and it is really hard for people who want to work hard and gain the respect and earn the respect from people. Because people nowadays, they go like, I don't want to get involved with that. That's another guy. That's another lady that wants to influence us. So gaining respect is earning that respect is very important, right? That's a great method of influence. Now, the next question, and Frania, just stop me if you have any questions, please.
No, probably now. I'm gonna ask you at the end.
Okay, cool. So the next question is, how many do I influence? There's a principle behind this. As a leader, the number of people who follow is based on my level of influence, and we already said that. How many people are, is my level high enough? So I'm going to bring more people. And the cool thing is, I tell my leaders, when I coach leaders, and say, well, listen, when you're leading your people, your team, you look at the team member, you have to see beyond that person. You have to see that team member influences like at least 10 more people. So if you have a team of 10, you are influencing indirectly at least another 100 people, right?
Exactly.
So if your mind goes beyond that, if you're visionary, you say, well, how I do this, how many people do I influence? It depends on the level of influence. Remember that not everybody influences someone. Everybody influences someone. And we can remember our teachers in elementary school when we were little, when we sports people, they influence us, and they don't even know. They don't even know. Few people influence a lot of people.
Right.
That's the difference right there.
Right.
Now, your leadership potential and your leadership level, there's a difference between those. What is how far you can go and where's your level right now. There's a difference, and that is determined by leadership, how good leader you are, your willingness to change, and your desire to grow. Now, when I say leadership, and I'm probably repeating this because you have a potential, and this is your level, you have to lead yourself to be better every day. The enemy of, best is our enemy. When we say we are the best today, guess what? Tomorrow is another day. So we have to be better. So every time we say, well, I'm at my best, we are doing our best. Is well, guess what? Tomorrow you can do better. So that's an enemy for us sometimes when we say, well, we're the best. Understand, there's another game tomorrow. Exactly. But we need that willingness to change. We need that willingness, the desire to grow and keep growing. And I say, it's not how much time we have left on this earth. And I understood that a while ago. I could be gone tomorrow, or I could last for another 50 years. I don't know. I don't think so. But what if I last for another 60 years?
Right.
But the thing is, I could be gone tomorrow. It's not how much time I have left, it's how far can I go?
Exactly.
How many more people today I can influence today?
Exactly.
Because if I knew that I was going to die in 10 years, I would probably take it easy. You say, well, I'm going to die in 10 years, so
Exactly.
I'm going to do my best for 5, and then the next 5, I'm just going to take it easy. Nobody knows how long we're going to be here. So as a leader, you have to understand is how far you can go, how many more people you can influence, how many more people can you teach, how many more people can you really bring to another level, add value to. So that never stops. That never stops. And that's why you, Franny, are doing a great job, because you never stop.
No,
My goodness, you know.
I
and,
can.
and this is great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
There's another question. When do I influence? The principle is our value and significant rises when we influence others at the time when it's needed most.
Oh, wow. That's big.
And yes, and we have to understand when is that time.
Exactly. That's big. Yeah.
Yes. And now I'll tell you what, now it's a great time to be a good leader and influencer, influence more people. Because like I said a few minutes ago, other leaders have failed us, and we have to become those leaders. We need leaders. We need to follow somebody, right? You need to follow somebody. I need to follow somebody, and we're eager and hungry for good leaders. So I think this is a great time, and we have to do it very carefully and very strategically, right?
Right.
Now, leaders are readers. You have to look for those teachable moments, those moments that are breakthrough. Like I said, wow, my goodness, this is a great time to teach somebody and create and have a great success, And this is a good time that will take us to the next level. So leaders, we have to read those moments. We have to sense those moments. Breakthroughs occur in people and organizations when they hurt enough that they have to change. Many of my clients are like, oh, we're hurting. I don't know, we have to change. They say, the cool thing is they learn enough and they say, oh, now that we know this, now we have to change. I want to change. I have to do it, And then you say, well, we have enough. We have been successful. We're going to teach other people. We're going to give more to the community. That's when you receive enough that they're able to change and give more to the community.
Right.
All right. Well, this is about it. Well, sorry, I got another question. Why do you influence others? Why you do something will ultimately determine what you do and the why. That why. I have a class, it's quite a long class about just finding your why you're doing something. And that is a very serious class. People open their minds and they say, wait a minute, now I understand that my problem is not what I do, it's not how I'm doing it, it's why I'm doing it.
Exactly.
And they get distracted so much, right? And if you don't know your why, there's no way people can follow you, because they say, well, that's good. Let's say you invite me and they say, hey, you stop by my house, and they say, hey, Tom, get on, get in the van, let's get in the car, let's go around. Okay, cool. Hey, Frania, all right, let's go. Right. I'll tell you, within the first block, I said, Frania, where are we going?
Exactly.
Are you gonna say, well, we're just driving? I said, why?
Yeah.
And if you say, I don't know, we're just driving. Well, we have a nice car. We're just driving. See and I have to say, oh, stop. You just leave me here. I'll open the door and leave. Because
exactly. You don't know where you're going.
Yes, I need to know why. I need to know why. And I like kids when they ask, oh, Mom, why? Why are we doing it? Why do I have to use my vegetable? Why? And I think I learn a lot from the kids because they need to know, and they keep asking why. Right? Yeah. Now, right motives are crucial to people because leadership functions on the basis of trust. They have to trust us. You have to earn that respect and trust from people, right? Where do I influence others? Too often people feel that they cannot influence others because they do not have a leadership position. Guess what? I have another class. It's about leadership, 360-degree leader. How do you lead up to the sides and under you and all around you? And people say, well, I'll wait until I have my position so I become the leader. And guess what? That might never come. You are leading right now.
Right.
And
right.
we need you. Why don't you just make your department, your office, your own job shine, right? So you can then move forward and get that position that you probably want. Although leadership is not positional, but the thing is, you don't have to wait until you have that position to influence others. You know, that's very key. Remember, the position doesn't make the leader makes the position.
Wow.
All righty. Well,
Wow.
thank you so much. I think that was pretty quick, huh?
Amazing. Oh my God, but it's very good, full of, valuable information. You know what, leader, when we talk about leadership, I think leader start from yourself, from your own, then you influence your family around you, and then you go out. So this is something that I really enjoy, because we need to learn how to be leader of ourselves.
Yes.
And I was reading something very interesting. It says, no matter how many books you read, is your action and your discipline will make you become a better version of yourself. So yeah, it's beautiful. I love this topic. But I have one question for you. When you were talking about we influence different type of people. I love that topic. I do a lot of leadership. I read a lot. I love it, but I never heard about those that I know that, but to see it the way that you have it established in the presentation, amazing. And there's one that you said you can influence insecure people. So why that happen? Why you can influence a insecure people and maybe chicken instead of ego? Yes,
that's a great question. And remember, that comes after we influence people who we are, the way we are, right? And not the people that we want. In other words, if that's a question that should make you think. If you say, well, I influence a lot of insecure people, and in a way that they follow me and they are always behind me asking me for suggestions or advice and why not. And, they always tend to just come to my meetings all the time. Every time we meet at this place, they're here. And thinking that what happens is I have to ask the question, are you insecure yourself, right? Because, wow, why do I get, I'll be honest with you, I'm guilty of it. I'm a very critical, analytical person. And then I go like, I don't want to be around critical, analytical people. They're so boring, right? And didn't realize I was boring myself. So I was attracting who I am, right? I'm still boring. but the thing is, I have to be conscious of that and say, wait a minute, I have to work on my leadership skills and my communication skills. Add a little bit of humor to what I'm saying, talking, because that attracts other people, and why not? And it all depends what kind of job we have or what kind of project we have.
Right.
But the thing is, we have to understand, if you attract people who are eagles, like people who want to make it happen, really want to go high and have all these projects, that means that you are like that.
Okay.
You want to, if I'm an eagle, I don't want to be with the turkeys.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. Yeah.
I want to be I want to be in a room where everybody's better than me.
Exactly.
I want to be in a room like, oh man, I like that. Oh, I like that. Because I'm learning, I'm growing. If I'm a turkey, I go like, I feel really cool with this turkey. Because,
but Tom, can you tell me like at least two techniques or two tips on how you can attract those smarter people, those, high thinker people, high performance people? How? Because some people approached to me, and I mean, someone approached to me actually, and he's an eager. He's someone that, I mean, that guy, multimillionaire and everything. And he told me, Frania, you know why I'm working with you? And I said, why? He said, because you have, like, I see you and I see me in you, like go-getter. Like when you want something, you go and you fight for, and you don't mind. And I was like, yeah, that's good, but I would like to have more of you as well, because I don't have that many, you know. I connect with those type of people, but to have them following me and calling me to ask me questions, it's like not often. And I would like to get there. How do you have any tips?
Yes, and that is a relationship that needs to be developed. And when you're talking to eagles, the eagles are too busy doing their thing.
Exactly,
right?
That's important.
Yes, and I have an eagle is looking for value. You know, it's like I want to grow, but I want to be surrounded by people who are adding value to not only me, but also value to what I'm doing, to what I want to accomplish. If a turkey calls me, right, and I'm just assuming, let's say I'm an eagle, and the turkey calls me, I go like, all the turkey wants to do is to really get something, I don't know, for free or wasting my time. I'm thinking like, I believe me, I do a lot of things pro bono. I love that because I love adding value. But there are people who will really suck your energy, you know, and take your time. And then you have to say, well, I have to be a little bit more selective and talk to people and call people and add value to those eagles. You know, if you identify an eagle, call that eagle and become their part of their group. Follow that eagle and learn from them, because you're going to be surprised how many other eagles are around, and you can create that network. And before you know it, that leader is going to be following you as well. Because eagles, I go like, well, if you know this, I want to know more. You know, and the only way they know that is if you're close to them. You need to be close to the leaders. You know, you have to do it intentionally, not to just take from them, but also bring something to the table. And that's why you have to prepare yourself. You develop yourself, get your content, get your experience, your books, anything that you read, so you can bring it to the table, be of value. Believe me, a lot of people are too lazy for that. I'm so sorry, but you know, but when you're bringing value, oh my goodness, they want to follow you. They want to follow, and it will take time, but you'll be successful.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. I honestly, you know, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm so delighted to have you here. And then I would like to have, you know, another section, maybe longer, maybe inviting some other people to also participate, which is great. But I mean, it's great. Everything that you talk about, that light me up, because that's me. I love to be
awesome.
Performance, like look for more and do more. When I launched my business, I start giving to the community and creating all this, bringing different topic and inviting different people and saying up there, hey, I'm helping other people. For example, my podcast is all about how to make money working from home and giving to the community. That way they can learn how to make money. It's amazing. It's so good to talk about leadership and influencer.
Yes. Thank you so much, Frania, for the opportunity. I know, I mean, you're already successful, but I wish you the best. I know you're going to be up there, and wow, I'll be following you. Yes, I'm following you. Yes.
Thank you. Soon, just so you know, my book will be out soon, and it's gonna be for single parents with kids. That type of a season that we're going through when we don't have any partner. And how you need to trust in God and other things in order for you to grow, you know, learn and grow your knowledge. That's what I did as well. That's what helped me, because at one point I said I have only two opportunities, to do this or to do that. And I said, no, I prefer to grow my knowledge and help people and do like that. And I took that way. And that what made me get where I am today, because I make that decision. So it's a beautiful book. So I hope you will be part of it.
Yes. Let me know when it's out. Yes. I'll be the first one sharing that. Yes.
Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.